Hey, Curtis.
Hey Oz,
What movie do you have to wrap up Video Game Movie Month?
wrap it up video game month. This week we have a whole lot of Enter the Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
a couple different aspects of Beverly Hills Ninja,
Mm-hmm.
a touch of Thor Love and Thunder,
Okay.
a pinch of Miss Veronica Vaughn, and a whole lot of the Soul Taker. This week we're talking about 1995's Mortal Kombat!
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I didn't even try to put a movie marriage together this week. I was just busy with work, and so I finished this movie at like 12:15 this morning.
It's the best time to watch this movie.
I had most of it done anyway, but I'm like, I might as well finish it. I knew it was your movie, so if I didn't get it, I've seen it. I've seen it before, but it is what it is. No, very, very nicely done. Got a nice little Thanksgiving dinner of movie marriage there.
Yep. We got some cranberry sauce in there.
That's
and everything.
right. Yeah. So welcome back, listeners and viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme, wrapping up Video Game Movie Month, which you know what that means. We'll be revealing a new theme at the end of the show.
That's what we call a teaser in the business.
Yeah, here in the biz.
In the business.
But I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I am the other host, Curtis.
And before we get rolling, we definitely want to give a shout out to those that we're thankful for. Our Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colleen K., and Lyle M. Thank you guys for your continued patronage.
Yep. We got 3 Sonya Blades. Let's go with a Kano and a Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm. Who's your, who's your Kano?
Oh, Lyle M.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Don S. would be your Johnny Cage.
Don is clearly the Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. He doesn't rock a ponytail enough to go as Goro.
No. Nor does he have an extra set of limbs. But...
No, nor that. Lyle does, but
yes, he does.
He's still more Kano.
Yeah.
Only because of the laser eye due to that faulty work.
Yeah.
Faulty work incident.
Yep. He had the retina surgery one time, and it just one thing led to another, and now he could shoot lasers out of his left eye.
Back in late '95, after he had seen Mortal Kombat, he's like, "That's what I'm missing."
Yep, right there. I want to be a sexist Australian who shoots lasers out of one eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm missing.
Yep.
So,
congrats, Lyle, you made it.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes, I got such a soft spot for this movie.
I do too. It's not a good movie.
No, it's not a good movie, but it is. No,
they definitely made it with the Spawn's like CGI department.
Yes. Well, I mean, it is 1995, so it's pretty early in the era of CG.
But still, like Jurassic Park was 92.
Yeah.
Well, and I know we're not talking Spielberg money. Yeah, I mean,
this is New Line after all.
I get that, I do, but it's like I still it shows what you could do with a budget.
Yeah.
Because the CGI in this not so polished. It would look much better now, as I'm sure the relaunches have. I haven't seen them, but no, I'm with you though. I also have a soft spot for this film just because it's just so dumb fun. Turn your brain off and watch.
It is a lot of dumb fun, and again, like coming off the heels of the same director last week. Yeah. Paul W.S. Anderson with Resident Evil. This was his second movie. This predates Resident Evil.
Yeah. This is what got him Resident Evil. It's like, hey, you can make a video game movie, and to his defense, like this is the movie he wanted to make. Yeah. Like no one has ever mistaken Paul W.S. Anderson with an award-winning. Well, they have mistaken him with award-nominated directors, but. But not an award-winning director. But it's like, this is a guy that he knows his lane and he stays in it. And he churns out like I've mentioned several times this month, like Sci-Fi Channel level of film with just a slightly higher budget, which means you have better set pieces and better locations, but really not any better acting or plot.
Yeah, and like, Rudy Tomjanovich in your lead role.
Exactly. So, you've got this film and its plot. It's big, thick, meaty Thanksgiving dinner plot.
Yep, Salisbury steak of a plot.
Yeah, without gravy.
Sans gravy.
But no, I've got the cast of this one, and like many video game adaptations, the cast is it it presupposes the film. The cast was the cast of a video game. So now you just got to put faces to names that already exist and are known, which is kind of cool when you already have like an intellectual property that people are aware of, you know, that you don't have to introduce the background of Lord Raiden, because if you are a fan of the game, you already know who he is.
Yeah.
So you just got to find a guy to do it.
I will say, and I know you'll get to the individual cast here in a moment, but I think for the most part, this movie was pretty well cast.
It was. Yeah. They gave it their best effort, but like you've also, I mean, as we march on, I mean, this is episode 161. So a lot of times, if you're paying attention to our episodes, you'll see through lines. And one of my through lines through our episodes is I do enjoy a movie where the cast is balanced, where you don't have somebody that is performing far above the others or far below the others. That really shows the discrepancy in ability. When you can cast a movie where across the board, everybody's best effort is still level.
Yeah, I mean, you could have cast 8 Lyndon Ashbys in this movie, and it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah. but had you pulled because I know Sean Connery was offered for a role.
Yes, I saw that. Sean Connery was up for Raiden.
Yeah.
Kind of ironically that Christopher Lambert ended up getting it.
Yeah, but it's like you cast Connery, and if he brings his A game, that creates separation between Raiden and the rest of the talent.
Yeah,
which then makes the film, it just makes it flimsy. And so it is irritating when you watch a film and you see somebody is just nailing their role, and then they're surrounded by bozos. Or you got something like a Ocean's 11 where everybody's amazing. You know, and it's like, okay, like this, nobody's standing out in this film because everybody is quality.
8 Don Cheadles.
Exactly. So, and so, yeah, I've got the cast of this one. And as you mentioned, Christopher Lambert plays Lord Raiden, the Thor character and protector of Earthrealm. Which I would not have thought by playing the game Mortal Kombat that Raiden was such a crack up. Like
that Raiden, what a yuckster he is.
He really is. It's like, hey. And so, yeah. We got
get
Raiden.
A load of those Earthrealmers.
Come here, guys. Huddle up. Like, so, yeah, Raiden was basically the coach of the good guys.
Yes, the group facilitator, if you will.
Yeah. We've got our main bad guy, Shang Tsung, played by Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Really solid performance.
Yeah, really is.
I guess he was the only person they brought in, and for this role, and he won it by standing on a chair during.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was reading that he wanted it, they wanted him, and it worked. He plays the bad guy, the powerful sorcerer, and host of the Mortal Kombat tournament. You've got Beverly Hills Ninja's own Robin Shao as Liu Kang, a very young former Shaolin monk.
Yes. Yeah. He hung it up.
Right.
They retire at 23.
Exactly.
In the Shaolin monk industry.
Yeah. Did he just, change his mind after the internship that I'm going to go another direction?
It's got a solid IRA.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm out. Sorry, guys. But no, Liu Kang, kind of the main protagonist of the film. He's in the tournament to avenge his brother's death. We've got, as you mentioned, Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, the world's greatest martial artist, but also a Hollywood superstar.
Yes. As I was putting my movie marriage together, I actually was thinking of Johnny Cage when I came up with Beverly Hills Ninja. And then I remembered, Robin Shao is literally in that movie. So
yeah.
I got a twofer there. With
you do. Yeah. And so, he's the Hollywood superstar that enters the tournament to prove that he's
the real deal.
That it's like you in a movie marriage, you could have gone with like Bolt, that Disney movie about like the world's greatest action dog, but in real life is not. Like that's basically Johnny Cage is like, I have to prove myself in the real world. And by the real world, I mean this fictional tournament on a fantasy island.
Fantasy Island.
Bridget Wilson Sampras is Sonya Blade, special forces officer, always rocking the ponytail. She's after Kano.
Did all of her own stunts, I guess.
She did do all, including several injuries.
Yes.
A lot of injuries on this set. Not like debilitating, but enough to be like, wow, that's what stuntmen are for, folks. So Sonya Blade's here. We've got Talisha Soto as Katana, the 10,000-year-old emotionless emperor's daughter. She's there. She has a soft spot for the Earth realm.
Yeah, I think her nickname was MacGuffin.
It must have been, yeah, because she was. I could almost see the cue card reader or the cue card holder off camera holding them up as she's just reading her lines to the Liu Kang. Go further, dive deep,
uncover the line.
Exactly.
Mystery.
Flip it. Trevor Goddard as Kano, this underworld crime boss who has, his enemies with Sonya Blade, but he joined forces because he's a bad guy, so he's also in with Shang Tsung. Kind of fun that Trevor Goddard has a very strong Cockney English accent, but everyone thought he was Australian, so they labeled him as Australian, but he's British.
And that influenced the character moving forward in the subsequent games.
And he went ahead and played that up because that got him movie roles going forward of I'm Australian.
Sure I am, mate.
Yeah. We've got Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile.
I think by the way it's pronounced doo-doo, Scorpion, doo-doo.
Exactly. Yeah,
Sub-Zero,
they're all in there.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, it's there. Some people have the letters just aren't pronounced. For these, the sounds are pronounced, the letters just aren't visible. It's flipped. It is doo-doo, Scorpion. And I do want to leave off with Master Boyd, played by Peter Jason. Peter Jason, a 6-time John Carpenter cast member. You may have seen him in movies we've covered, like They Live. He was he was Johnny Cage's sensei, the overweight, chunky guy that apparently knew more about martial arts than even anybody did. Just blink if you miss it, though. But Peter Jason, rolling through 48 Hours, Karate Kid. He was the soccer coach in Karate Kid. But Prince of Darkness, They Live, In the Mouth of Madness, Village of the Damned, Escape from L.A., and Ghosts of Mars. So, John Carpenter guy.
Speaking of cameos, I guess there was an almost cameo by, of all people, Steven Spielberg in this movie?
Actually, I read that afterwards, and it changed my
Really?
My before I read the trivia, my was, why is Paul W.S. Anderson throwing shade at Steven Spielberg? Because clearly the director of Johnny Cage's film resembled Spielberg.
Yes, there's definitely a semblance there.
And so I that was my of why is it almost felt like he was calling him out, look at this, this low budget action film that Johnny Cage is in is directed by Steven Spielberg. Well, because it was supposed to be. Spielberg apparently was going to do a cameo in this film.
Like a big fan of the video game series or something.
And so it's whatever. This just seems like...
I remember that line in Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indy walked up to that big guy by the plane and he goes, "Get over here!"
Yeah, and when they tied Marion and Indy up to the post there at the end before they opened the Ark of the Covenant, and then when he looked at him and he said, "Finish him," and then it didn't work. But
and then they opened up the Ark and he's screaming at Marion, "Close your eyes!" Fatality.
Or when Indy walked into the bar and saw Marion and he went, "Babality."
We could keep going with that.
We definitely could
for the rest of the show.
But let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Let's get into as we said, the Salisbury steak plot of Mortal Kombat, the Hungry Man Salisbury steak.
Yeah.
I will point out, and I got a feeling that this might come up later as well. We open this movie. I got to say, the first 30 seconds of this movie could be my favorite of the entire movie. We got the New Line Cinema logo on screen as the song, as I typed in all caps in my notes, is playing. There's flames shooting through the logo.
Yes,
I love it.
Just to be fair, that again, we're 8 seconds into the film, and I have my
Yes.
first good already down. Yelling Mortal Kombat before the studio logo. I do. It's just like
it is such a banger. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. I was listening to it earlier when I was shaving my head. I was like, because I knew we were talking about it, and I'm like, it's kind of a cool song. Like
I mean, just like this movie, it's a stupid song, but like I love it. Like I can't help but it's just such a fun beat. And
well, it's like you might as well have titled the song 1995.
Yes.
Like it just nails everything about what the mid 90s felt like.
Yeah. And it's basically the song "Twilight Zone" by Two Unlimited, just with the sound drops from the game.
Yeah,
but it's I have such a guilty pleasure for that song.
I'm with you for sure.
So after that, the whole thing lets down after that opening sequence, but
until you hear it again at the closing credits.
we get some weird Dutch angles as we see a young warrior getting his rear end absolutely handed to him by Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
Shang Tsung's just taking this young Shaolin monk apart.
Very young, like 13, 14. Like,
yeah. At one point, he like steps on his spine in slow motion, and the kid's like, Lou! And as Shang Tsung points right at the camera.
Yeah.
Your brother's soul is mine.
He really, really loved this role. Like he was
the actor who played the brother. Is Stephen Ho, and as you know, and as I think many of our loyal listeners have picked up on, I'm a huge Conan O'Brien fan.
Yes.
Stephen Ho used to come on Conan's show, especially the TBS show, and they would do these he would teach him how to be a stuntman. So like every year or two, he would come on and they would do these bits, and he would kind of teach him like, here's how you do this, here's how you block a fake punch, here's how you throw a guy over your shoulder, and then they would on the spot they would just do it and then like do this little choreographed bit together, and it was always just a lot of fun because it's it's 6'4" lanky Conan, and this guy who's clearly in on the bit teaching him how to do it. It was always just a lot of fun
to check those out.
Yeah. So Liu Kang wakes up. It was all a dream, Oz, or was it?
Looked like a dream to me.
Speaking of 1995, he reads a Western Union telegram saying, "Brother dead, return home."
Kind of hard to read Western Union telegram.
Yes.
Like that Western Union telegram paper is like half ply thick.
Yeah.
So it's pretty transparent anyway. And and then the lighting was like, I had to like, what? Okay. It doesn't matter what it says. I know what's going on.
Yeah. So Lou, I'm going to go a little out of order here. Just finish the Liu Kang opening stuff. So he returns home. His grandfather tells him, your brother died preparing to save the world in a martial arts tournament. Lou is the chosen one. We got a chosen one here, Oz.
I love chosen ones.
Yes. Raiden shows up, Lord Raiden, to confront him about running away from his destiny. Lou wants nothing to do with it. I'm going to participate, but I'm going there to avenge my brother.
Right.
And he calls him out, and we get the first lightning eyes, the first of I think 27 appearances of lightning eyes in a Raiden.
Just so you know what Raiden consists of.
Yep. We meet Sonya's military team. She's like a elite commando or something or other, and she's got her partner Jax there.
Yep.
They're plowing through this like industrial music club.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure KMFDM was on the stage.
They were there.
Yep. They're looking for Kano. Kano knows that she's there because Shang Tsung is with him. They're basically trying to lure Sonya someplace is the whole bit there. We cut to LA, Oz. We meet Johnny Cage, Lyndon Ashby's Melrose Place's Johnny Cage here.
Yeah.
He approaches 4 armed men and just takes off his sunglasses. Let's dance.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Proceeds to take them all apart.
One at a time, because that's how they attack.
And then after beating up one guy, the guy just kind of stands there for a while, and Johnny's like, this is where you fall down. Turns out they were making a movie.
Yeah, because he's a movie star.
It wasn't real. So he yells at the director, and that's where you mentioned before, Johnny's agent invites him to this worldwide martial arts tournament. You want to prove to everybody you are what you say you are, right?
His agent and sensei.
Yeah. It's so often they go together.
Yeah. Well, it's tough cracking the market in LA.
You gotta wear multiple hats if you want to
Right.
make it in the big city.
That's true.
We're on the boat dock, Oz, in what I labeled as stereotypical Asian country.
Yes.
We see Cage. We see a guy that I label as cannon fodder. I forget what his real name is.
Right. It doesn't matter.
So I literally just labeled him cannon fodder.
It was, yeah. It doesn't matter. It was in here and I just skipped over it.
Yeah. Cage knows him.
Yeah.
You know, Lou was there.
Art lean.
Art.
Yeah.
Cannon fodder.
Yes.
They get on a boat with a big dragon on it. Kano's on board, and Sonya and Jax are doing recon, and they spot him, and of course Sonya runs after him and gets on the boat, and it takes off. So, Johnny, Lou, and Sonya are there. Shang Tsung introduces himself. Sub-Zero and Scorpion also arrive there too. So
they're so BA.
Yeah, they are. So Shang Tsung even expositions just a bit like these two are the worst of enemies, but under my control. They're in my dominion. That whole bit.
Right.
So he's manipulating them. Sub-Zero freezes Sonya's gun to demonstrate what he can do. We get the whole lizard creature coming out of Scorpion's hand.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And just as they're about to throw down right there in this boat, Raiden lightnings in to save the heroes. We get some exposition out of Raiden. You have to defend Earthrealm from Outworld in Mortal Kombat. Outworld has won this tournament for the last 9 straight years, and if they win it for a 10th year, then they get to invade Earthrealm and take over. So that's our exposition right there, Oz.
They've been strong enough for the last 9 tournaments, but they're strict rule followers.
They're
not coming.
Here. Nope.
They're not coming Earthside until we've got one more to win, guys.
Nope. We're doing this by the books, fellas.
We have demonstrated our superiority over the Earthrealm combatants.
Yeah.
But we'll give them one more chance.
But yeah. And we're even going to lure in somebody to do it as well.
Yeah, and we'll bring in the best of their best.
Yeah. So Raiden says, this is going to come down to one of you, and then we get the classic Christopher Lambert laugh right there as well.
Yes. Yeah. Are you...
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big Christopher Lambert fan.
I've got a love-hate relationship with Christopher Lambert. He's not a good actor, but
go ahead.
It's I think he knows he's not a good actor.
Yeah, I was going to say the quality of film that he's in often matches his ability level.
Yeah.
You don't see him as oh my God, Christopher Lambert's in Unforgiven? I didn't know that. I didn't realize
Christopher Lambert in 3 Billboards.
Exactly. You don't see him in this because he's not that level of character actor.
Yeah, he's in Highlander.
Exactly.
He's in that, I forget the name of that one action movie with Mario Van Peebles.
Right. We Courtney and I covered a horror film called, I think it's Repossession or something like that, that he was in. I'd never even heard of it, but I saw he was in it, and it's him trying to do a Cajun voice through the whole thing. It's awful.
I'm sure.
And it's like a pure 7 ripoff.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. But yeah, the guy gets work, good for him. But it's it is. If you see Christopher Lambert in the cast list, tap down your expectations.
Lower your bar. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to be surprised with his performance.
No, he's playing Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In Outward, Liu Kang meets Princess Katana, and they exchange sexy eyes while Reptile comes to 16-bit life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Subs, they're in the big fortress. We get another demonstration of Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
He just shatters a guy who spends about 5 minutes flexing at the camera.
Right.
And then, Sub-Zero just shatters him with ice. Flawless victory.
Yeah, flawless.
Shang Tsung tells Kano and Goro he has plans for Sonya, and I just put you in my notes.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's kind of like M. Bison and Chun-Li from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Why does the bad guy have the thing, have to have the hots for the female combatant?
And why has he got to be all just like, why is he gotta be all rapey about it? You know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna get what I want regardless. Like, no, that's gross.
No, just be a gentleman if you're gonna,
Yeah,
if you're gonna
right.
try to take over Earthrealm.
Woo her. Try and woo her.
Woo her. Maybe listen.
Yeah, there you go. Be a better listener.
Be a better listener. We can all be a better listener there.
There's a way in. Yeah, there's a way to her heart, and it's not by staking her soul.
No. The song hits and ninjas attack the three. They take several of them down. Raiden, of course, again shows up to scare away the other bad guys. But I just had to mention the song.
Oh yeah, I do. They definitely get their money's worth out of that.
Yeah, they do. The next day, the tournament formally begins. Liu takes down some dreadlock guy on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, Sang-Shun takes his soul. Your soul is mine. Fatality.
He's not dead yet. But his soul's mine though. Don't take it. It's mine.
Sonya fights Kano, and Sonya does like the Sonya move where she like leg scissors him. She ends up breaking his neck, so Kano's gone. Like as Act 2 is just beginning here.
Yeah, because it's just out of nowhere. Well, not really out of nowhere. I mean, that felt like it should have been their like for her climactic fight, but it was like her first one.
Yeah,
and he's like, hey, cut me, give me a break here. It's just, okay,
snap.
Yeah, looking at it though. Pretty soft head scissors.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of room in there still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely was not Frankensteiner quality.
No. You could have brought in stunt legs for that one. Like
stunt legs.
That just felt like Bridget Wilson was like, I'm not comfortable clenching that hard.
Yeah. Johnny fights Scorpion in some like weird skinny tree forest.
That seemed oddly like reflective. Like I love that scene.
Yeah,
but it felt like here's this grove of trees that somehow branch out in two different directions. Like it was just really odd, but it was cool. I like that setting.
It was a fun setting to see that fight, and we get some of the classic from Scorpion. Get over here,
right?
As he shoots like the
grappling hook or whatever,
thingy,
and it never seems until the very end to wrap around any tree or branch or limb or like Johnny's running all throughout this like grove of trees, and this cable keeps chasing him, never like hooking itself anywhere. Like it's just really bizarre.
You got to suspend your disbelief more, Oz, when
I tried
Mortal Kombat.
But they look like real trees, and so I know what happens when you're in real trees.
Johnny does his like signature kick from the game and ends up like shunting to a different like dimension while they're there or something. It looks like a derelict pirate ship, and the fight continues.
It does, yeah.
Scorpion eventually takes his mask off, revealing a skull, he breathes fire at Johnny.
Yeah, trying to go for that fatality.
Yeah, Johnny grabs like a serrated shield and holds it up to protect himself, and then uses this shield to like literally cut like the
slice the skull cleanly.
Yeah, very clean.
Didn't break the bone. It's a very clean cut.
Whoop, yep, extra sharp.
A la a very clean cut, just like the lasers in Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah. Too bad Scorpion didn't get cubed.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Then we see, let's see, Katana both fights and mentors Liu Kang at the same time.
Yeah.
That might come up later. Just wink, wink. Liu Kang then fights Sub-Zero. Another kind of sweet fight here between the two. He follows Katana's advice to use the element that brings life to defeat Sub-Zero.
Water.
And there just happens to be a big pail of water right there.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah. I'm glad it was water that he was thinking and not some other fluids.
Yeah. I'm pretty dehydrated. This is going to take a while.
Sub-Zero's just, ew. That's why Cameron Diaz said she didn't want a part of this movie.
That's right. Yeah, Cameron Diaz was almost cast as Sonya Blade.
I think she was cast and like broke her wrist.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I did read that. Imagine how different this movie would have been with Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have, because this would have been early Cameron Diaz too.
Yeah, very like after The Mask.
Yeah,
Pre There's Something About Mary.
right. But yeah, so are you a Cameron Diaz fan?
No,
I'm not either.
no, she annoys me.
I think there are roles that she does, like being John Malkovich. She's fine in that role.
She's fine enough, but
Yeah.
like you could put anybody in there and it would have been fine.
Yeah, but it's like there are roles where stays out of the way.
Yeah,
but one of my love-hate movies is The Holiday.
Okay.
Oh, it's one of those that, like, when it's on, my wife and I, we watch it when it's on. Movie irritates me to no end, just because it does. Like, Jude Law, Kate Winslet, Jack Black, Cameron Diaz, all of you can do better.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just like a big budget Hallmark film.
Yeah.
But it's enough that it's like, I know what to expect, which is nothing. But she is the weakest link of that film by a mile.
I remember seeing that movie with my cousins on my mom's side, on Christmas. You know, like we had like the big family thing, and then a bunch of us were like, "Hey, let's go to the movies." And I got outvoted, and we went to see The Holiday. And I think that movie's over 2 hours long, and I felt like I was watching Gettysburg.
Oh yeah,
like it just didn't end. It didn't end, and you know, like as we've talked about before, like too much Jack Black, not a good thing. And
you're right. There's a lot of Jack Black in that one.
A lot of Jack Black. So yeah, it's Liu Kang ends up throwing the bucket of fluids.
It is a pirate ship, a lonely pirate ship
at Sub-Zero while he's like charging up his freeze ball. And it ends up making a giant ice spike, and he impales himself on it. Ew.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
He's a popsicle now.
Yeah. We get to see Goro fight. He kills Art Cannon fodder, much to the hero's chagrin.
The 5% of the budget Goro.
Ooh.
$20 million budget. This animatronic was $1 million.
That's a lot for that animatronic.
For that, yes.
Let's just cut to Act 3 here. Like Act 2 is all just these fights. Like,
it's all just the fights. Yeah. There's no plot movement. It's just fighting.
No, it's just fight,
because it's a tournament. Well, it's a tournament, so we got to whittle it down to.
And it is a movie about a video.
Exactly. Game. Right, and again, a movie about a fighting video game with no plot.
Yes,
like the game itself is climb the tower to fight Shang Tsung at the end. Like that's the game.
That's your Salisbury steak.
Pick your warrior and beat everyone else.
Yeah. Johnny tells Sonya, "I have a plan," and ends up challenging Goro. Johnny shows up to the fight in his sunglasses, which I really like.
It's kind of fun.
This scene, yeah. Eventually, after Johnny starts the fight by doing one of his signature moves from the game, which is where he does the splits and punches Goro directly in the Goros.
Yes, he gets him just the two, not all four.
Yes, and which I will say, I do like the animatronic response to this.
Yes,
crosses his eyes and all four hands go down to his groin, like oh,
it is very comical. Yeah.
He's hurting. Goro's hurting. Johnny ends up luring to a cliff and kicking him off. He kicks Goro off this big cliff. You see all four arms like flailing as he falls down. Shang Tsung then takes and kidnaps Sonya, challenges her. Lu and Raiden takes her through a portal. Lu and Johnny follow. Raiden cannot though, however,
because he's not mortal.
Yes. It's Mortal Kombat, not Immortal Kombat.
Yeah, and that is the sole purpose why Raiden cannot fight in this tournament.
Yes.
Even though he fights in the game.
Yes. So Lu and Johnny follow, and Lu ends up fighting a reptile who again literally is a lizard, but then he takes over some dead warrior's body and reanimates it. That was a fun fight scene too.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I had read in the trivia too was the stuntman who was Reptile was the best martial artist on set. And so that added a lot to it as well.
Yeah.
I think just because obviously he could keep up. But yeah, this guy was super dangerous. Not in Predator kind of way, but
Yeah. Not in a Predator kind of way. Carl Weathers shows up.
Yeah.
Make a stew out of that.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in.
And then he jumps over a cop car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. For that reference, you can check out our Action Jackson episode.
Yeah, back at the beginning of this year when we did Rhyming Title Month.
That's right. Man, it feels like that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that was January. That was week 1 of January.
Was it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we're almost there again.
It's 11 months ago almost.
We get one of Liu Kang's signature moves from the game where he does that like jumping multiple kick thing where it looks like he's riding a bike just tilted 90 degrees.
It's a recumbent bike.
It is a recumbent bike. That's what they did. That's what
green screened it out.
That's what, like when they were making the game, they just put the actor on a recumbent bike and then just digitally erase the bike.
That's easy. You just put it, you just wrap it in the chroma key green, and then you can just wipe it right out of there.
Yep. After Liu Kang defeats Reptile turns into Bugs, and I put in the reference to Nightmare Before Christmas. Bye, Bugs! Kitana shows up again because that's what she does. She's the walking sage of wisdom. Tells Liu that you will have to fight Shang Tsung, and you'll have 3 battles. Shang Tsung himself and your fears. I don't know what's different about you have to fight yourself and your fears. I don't.
If you're not afraid of yourself, it is very much like Luke Skywalker in the forest with Darth Vader. It's pretty silly. It's like, oh, so you're telling me that this fight in Mortal Kombat is going to go 3 rounds? Like, So I thought if you won the first 2, you don't have to fight the third one. So
it's Mortal Kombat, Oz.
Not
how the rules work, and we know that they're clearly rule followers here.
They are very much rule followers. Raiden's, I can't fight, guys. I'm not mortal. This is Mortal Kombat. Sorry.
So we get into the last scene here where Kitana, Liu, and Johnny sneak into the bad guy fortress disguised as bad guy guards. Sonya's, of course, strung up as they do to female damsels in distress in these movies, but she refuses to fight. Liu accepts and challenges Shang Tsung, and the song hits again.
Yes, it does.
Liu ends up bloodying Shang Tsung's lip, kind of like Iron Man bloodies Thanos's.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that for a drop of blood.
Yeah, you made me bleed my own blood.
Shang Tsung then summons the souls of past warriors who kind of manifest themselves, and of course Liu fights all them off as well.
I almost put in my because he comments the thousands of warriors whose souls I'd collected, and then 5 of them manifest.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of him to manifest souls.
It's like, your odds would have been better if you'd have brought more. I'm only going to manifest the amount that you can handle.
Yeah, the appropriate amount.
Right, I don't want to overwhelm you. It's your first Mortal Kombat.
Get a rule follower.
Right.
So Shang Tsung then takes the form of Liu's brother, Chan, as spikes come up from the floor underneath. After Shang Tsung beats down Liu stands up and declares, "I am the chosen one."
That's right.
Yeah. All these souls, and you don't have one of your own. I pity you, sorcerer.
It's very much like Bruce Leroy versus the Shogun at the end of Last Dragon.
Shang Tsung definitely possesses the power of the glow here.
He does. He's got the glow.
Liu fireball punches Shang Tsung off a ledge and onto the spikes. I will say
onto a spike.
There's many. He hits one.
He hits one.
I was watching this with my daughter, and I credit her for watching. She was interested in what I was watching.
Absolutely.
And as Shang Tsung, after he hits the spikes, he like de-ages really fast.
Very fast.
Kind of like it kind of reminded me a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. After he drinks from the wrong cup,
the hair
de-ages.
Yep.
Beatrix just looks at me and goes, "Ew." Like she wasn't like put off or afraid.
Right.
Ew.
That's gross.
We then get a skybeam. We get an MCU skybeam here.
Very much so.
Yeah, as all the souls leave Shang Tsung and they leave the temple, and Chan, Soul, and Liu have a brother moment.
Just a moment, yeah.
Just a brother
somehow he fought the reverse gravity of this beam, and is like, "Give me a minute, guys. I'll catch up. I got to talk to Liu.
Hold my spot in line at the cafeteria.
I'll be right there."
So we get a little epilogue here as we're back on Earth in the Shaolin Temple, and all the kids are celebrating.
Yeah, where'd they all come from? They all have like ribbon flags.
Yeah, I know. They were doing their rhythmic gymnastics routine.
It's like it's Mortal Kombat Day back here on Earth Realm. And...
Yep. So Liu, Raiden, Katana, Sonya, and Johnny are there, and then Emperor Frank Welker appears, and the 5 heroes all take fighting poses.
Exactly.
As we go to credits.
Emperor Dr. Claw makes his appearance.
Exactly, Dr. Claw. What's the little guy from Futurama? The little guy who poops like antimatter.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's Leela's pet. Frank Welker voices him too.
Right.
And that's Mortal Kombat. That's 1995's Mortal Kombat.
1995's Mortal Kombat.
Yes. That's Mortal Kombat. Oz. Any final thoughts on this one?
It's been a real fun month. We've had I mean, we weren't coming in with high expectations anyway. And so it helped.
Yeah. This is a good palate cleanser.
Yeah, it was a fun month.
Street Fighter was fun enough.
Yeah, like
quick change the channel.
and this movie, again, it's fine. My two picks were duds for the most part.
They were still fun to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we've seen far worse movies than those two.
Yes, and again, going back to the IMDb ratings, Street Fighter's at like a 4 point something. This is at a 5 point something. Resident Evil and Silent Hill were both like mid 6s, and to us they were clearly inferior movies.
Right.
I don't know, just not as fun. All right, well, hey, folks, every week Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we yap about, in this case 1995's Mortal Kombat. Hey, Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm going to give this one 4 arms of Goro.
Well done. What
are you giving it?
4 arms of Goro. I'm going to go with a double flawless victory.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Double flawless victory.
Double.
All right. Every week, Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our respective funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. And our next bit, Outside Insights. Hey, Oz, what's your outside insight?
As usual, mine comes from the depths of Amazon.
Yep.
And this is a review from Nep, a 5-star review called, in all caps, one of my top 10 movies.
Ooh.
Left in July of this year.
Okay.
I was disappointed in the second film, but I can always watch this one. It never gets old to me. I can watch it once a week and be like, get over here, or flawless victory, LOL. It's a classic. And I'll keep watching.
It's classic. Classic with a K. With a K for combat.
It's a classic. And I'll keep watching it over and over and over and over. And then I watch it again. I love the character, and it's action-packed.
This person clearly is excited about their Mortal Kombat experience.
The first one especially. Second one disappointed him, but this one never gets old.
No, never. This movie never gets old.
Just watch it once a week. Like, get over here. Flawless victory. LOL. Like, type
LOL. LOL, get over here.
JK, flawless victory. So that's my outside insight. What do you got?
I got to share 2 if you don't mind.
They
both as always come from the Internet Movie Database. The first one is a 10 out of 10 by Tia Kiramoro, left in April of 2006. A cool director makes a cool movie. I don't care what people say. Paul W.S. Anderson rules. I saw this guy's movies, and they are pretty hot. Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, and Alien vs. Predator were his best. Mortal Kombat has cool, real martial arts characters. Well, that's all I can say about Anderson, except that he really kicks butt. I hope the Mortal Kombat will get many awards for this cool karate movie. Now, I'll go play the game. This is just as good as the second Mortal Kombat, which was just as good as this.
This movie was as good as the second one, which was equally as good as the first.
Just as good.
Oh Okay.
So great. I had to say it twice.
That's right. It's full circle here.
My other one is a 1 out of 10.
Oh,
Left by Sports Fan 89 in January of 2005, making a plot vacation into a movie. Only someone on LSD could like this. Seriously, this is the stupidest movie ever. Anyone who watches this movie and is above the age of 5 knows that scripts were second to punching. Someone kill me, because I think by writing this, I am beginning to unrepress this movie. Goodbye. I'm about to stick my head in the microwave on high to rid my brain of Mortal Kombat.
I hope this isn't his suicide note.
No, Sports Fan 89, come back.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's other movies out there.
Yeah, you just don't have to watch this one. Yeah. It's okay.
But I've begun to unrepress this movie.
Right. Oh, here it comes. I've unpacked it.
Oh, after years of therapy.
I thought I was over it.
Oh, it's all flooding back. No.
It's like it said, get over here to me.
It has a flawless victory over my heart.
It's stolen my soul.
Well, hey, folks, every week, Oz and I present our signature segment here on Let's Talk About Flicks, the 3-2-1, in which my friend and pal Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's film, 1995's Mortal Kombat. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one, and we mentioned it earlier, and I even said it earlier, just yelling Mortal Kombat before the studio logo even drops. This movie from the jump was like, here it goes. Yes. Here's that song. And it's like, it just sets the tone.
Yeah.
Does it stay at that same tone? No, but it definitely sets it like, oh, this is going to be sweet. Reminds me a little bit. I sent you a Facebook video a few months ago of there's one guy messing around with what it was like creating the GoldenEye theme song.
Yes.
And how that song is actually more of a banger than it deserves to be. It's just the pause music is this is pretty sweet.
I know, right?
It's that same kind of thing of this song is I'm not even going to say probably, this song is better than the movie.
Oh, of course it is.
And so it's good for them to realize what they've got there and use it.
Just lean into it.
Yeah. So using the song from the jump is my first good. My second one again came early on. The blatant use of complete character names whenever somebody new comes on screen, just so you know exactly who they are.
Hey everyone, it's Kano.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's oh, there's Sonya Blade. She's my nemesis. And it's every, and she'd be you got my left, Jax. And it's every character that we were going to see further, got a full name drop. They might as well put it on screen as Liu Kang, Johnny Cage. It was...
It's Princess Katana.
Yeah, it's Johnny Cage, you can't call cut. Only I can. Why are you calling by his full name? So that's my second is just... I just thought it was fun of we got to let people know who these people are. And then third is that Johnny Cage versus Scorpion fight.
Yes.
Both in the trees and just wherever else it ended
was a
up.
fun fight, yeah.
It was just a fun... The setting of it was fun and... Because when you're playing Mortal Kombat, the arena, the background arena is just as fun to watch as the game. You play, I remember playing and there'd be some my fight would be in a certain setting and I would be disappointed because oh, I don't want that setting. I want the setting where there's people strung up by their arms and legs and hanging over the lava. And so that's my third good. It's just that Johnny Cage Scorpion fight.
All right.
What do you got?
I'm going to start with most of the casting in this movie.
Fair enough.
Christopher Lambert, Robin Shaw, and Ashby, Kerry, Hiroyuki Tagawa, I thought were all very well cast in this. Just they got the bit. They leaned into it. It was the perfect level of hamminess. I appreciated those performances. Just knowing what this movie was supposed to be.
Right.
My second one, this movie Oz grossed over $122 million.
It's number one at the box office,
on a $20 million budget.
Yeah. It was a hit.
Yeah, it was. I remember I did see this movie as a kid in the theaters, and I was hooked. I was hooked on this. And my last one, let's just go with let's go with the Goro nether region. I almost said something else. We'll say the nether region punch, and just the reaction.
That was fun.
Yes. So
it was very like Ninja Turtle-esque.
It was, yeah.
It's just that response was very, very Ninja Turtle.
Yes, very over the top in just the right way. Yeah. So those are my my three goods. Hey, Oz, what are your two bads?
My first one is Raiden he was too goofy. Like,
sure,
everybody else stayed pretty loyal to what you thought they would be from the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're granted in the video game, it's not like they had personalities; they just were characters. But everybody fit pretty well. Like, if you got a female character, she needs to be tough, and Sonya Blade was tough. It's like Raiden was one of the coolest, if not the coolest, character in the game, and he was just really goofy here. And I don't really know why, other than just to add some levity and just some lightheartedness to it. But Christopher Lambert was the biggest named actor in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess was just a super nice guy offset too. Like, because he was so expensive, I was reading on Wikipedia that, like, they couldn't afford him for the whole movie. And they were going to do a lot of like his just bring in a body double for some of his non-face work.
Yeah, I read that too.
And he just like went to Thailand on his own dime. Mm-hmm. Because like, I think it'll be better if I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just do it because he believed in the film and he took care of everything. And it's like, that's great. But it just, you know, so no knock on Lambert there, but it just like Raiden is just a little goofy, you know, and it's almost like he was very aware of his powers and therefore didn't need to live up to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have, I guess, from video game to screen, I would have expected Raiden to be less of a bro and just more of, you know, that just figure that's like lightning and all that cool stuff. So my second one is, despite all of the fight scenes in this movie, there are some real major lulls in the action while they're building the animosity between some characters, while they're trying to create the story of why they're all here. Like, it starts off with some action sequences, and it definitely end of Act 2 or Act 2 and Act 3 is fight. But there's a big chunk in there where, while they're getting to the island and they're getting into this, and they're one punch winning fights, and it just really hits really slams on the brakes, and it just was like, it kind of lost me there. But luckily, it's a short film, so those are my two bads. What do you got?
My first one is just going to be kind of how they played Sonya some of the times. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's, you know, we already talked about the damsel in distress bit, you know, that she kind of turned into at the end. But even before then, too, like, you know, like there was a moment where like Liu Kang's talking to Johnny about Sonya. It's not her mind you're admiring.
Yeah.
And like another one where like Sonya's telling him, like, she's like, I can handle myself. And Johnny's like, I can't help it. It's a guy thing. Like,
I know.
It's just gross. Like the damsel in distress, like, you know, like the big bad wanting to get with her is gross, but part of it, it's just like why do we have to make these sexist comments? Like, she's a pretty woman. Like, we got to point that out.
Yeah, everybody's got to know. Like, I'm a guy. What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
I can't harness these.
Yeah,
hormones.
You're a woman that clearly needs saving.
Right. Duh.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, bruh.
Exactly.
So that's my first bad, and I'll go with the other one. This movie begat Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which
I've not seen. Nor do I want to.
I don't think I've ever seen it beginning to end, but it's bad. It's really bad. They kill. Spoiler alert! They kill off Johnny Cage 5 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
And they recast almost everyone. Only Kitana and Liu Kang are the same actors. And the effects are if you thought some of the effects in the first one were bad, they are tragically bad in the second one.
Oof.
Yeah, despite the fact it was made a couple years later.
Yeah, no, I have no desire to watch it.
Yeah. I
am a little intrigued at the relaunch, just with better effects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they cleaned it up, and I know they really leaned into the R rating.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it one time. I admittedly I don't remember a whole lot. I remember it being fun enough.
Yeah. These movies, I don't think they're known to to be like mental magnets.
Yeah.
like I'm never going to forget my viewing of Mortal Kombat.
Character story with Kano was so deep and rich.
Right. They should teach that at universities. Like,
all right. Hey, Oz, what's your huh?
Like I mentioned earlier, my first huh was, why did they do Spielberg dirty by But then when I realized that he was supposed to be there, okay, so more of an homage. So my real huh is when Lou, Sonya, and Johnny are fighting generic ninjas.
Yes.
And Johnny's going to run up the stairs, and 3 ninjas come down the stairs at him. Right? Follow me so far?
Yep.
Why do all 3 ninjas is a cool looking thing where they all do the flying jump kick and he like ducks under all 3 of them?
I know exactly the moment you're talking about.
Why are all 3 of these guys just flying forward with a jump kick? Like, you would think all 3 would have aimed at Johnny, but they didn't. they just jumped from the 5th stair so that he could duck under him. Again, kind of cool slow-mo effect, but you think about it like, what were they trying to accomplish here? Like, 2 of those guys weren't going to hit anything.
They're all aiming at the empty void that Johnny used to fill.
The middle guy could have hit Johnny if Johnny didn't duck, but the other 2, I'm not sure what they were going for. Well, so that's my huh.
Well, it's like when the Rockers would do like a double missile drop kick off the ropes at the same time.
Yeah, but at least they were aimed at the.
If all 3 of them connected at once, Oz, Johnny would have just exploded.
But at least the Rockers were aiming at the same target. Like, these three henchmen were not. They were just jumping.
I mean, Johnny ducked under them, but had he just moved left or right, he would have gotten hit.
I guess so. So I guess it's the Frogger approach of careful where you move. You're going to get hit. But that's my huh is. When they all were, why were they all doing a flying kick towards one guy? Like, just keep coming down the stairs. He can't duck you there.
Yeah.
So that's my huh. What do you got for a huh?
I got 2. I can't decide which one. I'll let you pick which one you put on the screen. The first one I'll say is, if Shang Tsung is so worried about Princess Katana helping Liu Kang, why does he sanction their fight? And he's sitting right there. And he's like, quit talking, you 2.
We need to keep them apart. She has feelings for the Earth Realm. Yeah. All right, you 2 fight. Yeah.
So, I mean, she's such a threat. Like why did you let him fight her?
Yeah. Keep her away from him.
Yeah. The other one is, why didn't they just play the song the whole movie?
I would have loved it.
Yes, the entire 90-minute runtime. Just keep that song in a loop.
Honestly,
keep it going.
Drop the audio of the film. Just music. I don't need any dialogue. Just
or put the dialogue on screen.
Yeah,
you basically
we like
would have
that
done
too.
it with the characters anyways.
Right.
I just want to hear the song for 90 minutes.
And that works because I think I've told you the story before. I don't remember who I was out with, but there was a group of us back when I lived in Chicago that we went out to a club. And I don't remember the club, don't remember anything about it other than we were at a club and it was October. And they were playing Nightmare on Elm Street on the TVs.
Yes, I remember this story. Okay. Keep going. Yep.
And so and as a big horror film fan and not a fan of really any of the people I was out with, I was just out for socializing.
Yeah.
I'm on the middle of the dance floor, like leaning against the railing, watching Nightmare on Elm Street on the screen at a dance club while there's dance music just bumping from the speakers. Granted, I've seen Nightmare so many times, I know what's going on. I don't need any of the audio or actual musical volume coming out. But that's kind of what it would have been here of, let's get this bumping EDM dance song.
Yeah.
And then forget what's going on. Let's just watch it while Mortal Kombat's playing underneath.
You're shooing hotties away who are trying to dance with you. Can you move to the left? I'm trying to watch muted Nightmare on Elm Street here.
I just pull a Beatrix and look at her and go, ew.
Ew.
It's like I was watching muted Freddy Krueger while dance is going on. Everyone's over there sweating and having a good time, and I'm like bumping into me. Like, come on.
You're over there sweating just watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's
Man,
tense.
This movie's good. Ooh, is it getting warm in here?
Is it a boiler?
Yeah. Wish somebody would blood flood me.
And then come along Sarah.
Yep. I think she's one of our Patreons. We should not insult our potential future Patreons.
Oh, fair. I don't even know. I was just going random. So
I know. I thought you were referencing a particular person.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was just saying in general that there was. So
yeah.
All right, so
yeah, that wraps video game month.
That wraps up video game month. We've got the month of December left before we roll out another full year.
Yes, one more month in the year of our Lord 2024.
And of course, December is known as holiday season. You know, they would sing songs about it. It's the holiday season.
It's literally called the holidays.
And so we decided we were going to come at you guys with a month of holiday films.
Yes.
All of them being holiday horror films. But not all of them being holidays and Christmas.
Not all, quote unquote, the holidays.
That's true. So all of our movies next month are tied to a different holiday. And they are all horror films. Okay. And so we're going to kick off week 1 of December, holiday horror month, with a movie I think you said you've not seen before, have you?
I haven't seen it.
We're going to cover April Fool's Day from the mid 80s. If you are familiar with 80s films, then you will recognize a lot of people from this movie. Tom Wilson from Back to the Future movies. You've got
we got Deborah Foreman.
You got Deborah Foreman from Just One of the Guys. You've got Larry from Summer School is in this one.
Larry.
You've got I think it's Amy King is her name, maybe not. But you've got the survivor from Nightmare or Friday the 13th Part 2. So yeah, there's Deborah Foreman and there's another one in there. There's two Debbies. One of them is from Valley Girl.
Yeah, the other, Deborah Goodrich.
There you go, Goodrich. So yeah, she's the lead from Valley Girl. So yeah, a lot of 80s that person in this one. Fun film. I've seen this movie a lot of times and I enjoy it. It's just a fun horror film. And so we're going to kick off December 2024 with April Fool's Day. I'm looking forward to your first viewing of this. Looking forward to what you think of it. So, but no, we will definitely be back next week for that. Social media wise, you guys could find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Patreon link is down below. Like and subscribe. Do all those things that the video talking heads tell you to do. But yeah, other than that, it's been a fast year.
It has been a fast year.
Yeah,
quick shout out to Oz, to the Chicago Indie Critics.
Oh yeah, gotta love those guys. Chicago Indie Critics do an amazing job, and we definitely are the weak link of the Chicago Indie Critics. But that doesn't keep us from getting that sweet for your consideration swag from the various movie studios.
We're riding the coattails for the free swag.
That's true. For the swag, for all of the digital media. I think I've got one in the mail today. I got one yesterday, so
I got a big one the other day. I did not get the one that you posted online the other day.
Oh, you haven't gotten your neon one yet?
Nope.
So it's a nice set. They do such a good job over there at Neon putting their production stuff together. A24 does a great job with their stuff too.
Yeah, I got the A24 bundle.
I haven't got the A24 bundle yet. I think that's what's coming today. But Netflix usually drops some hammers as it goes along too. I know last year for what was that Annette Bening, Jodie Foster swimming movie that come out last year? My wife and I watched it. We did enjoy it, but like
I don't remember.
That kit had come with a water bottle and a beach towel, and then there was Bradley Cooper. Was it what like musical composer movie did he do?
Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen.
Yeah.
And so like that came with like an album and all kinds of swag, but it's like a lot of it, you take it and you're like, thank you for it. And then I'll try to get to it if I can. Cause when everybody's throwing all of their stuff at you, it's really
hard
difficult.
To keep up. It's hard to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to keep. And I get why they do it. It's the timing of it, but it's like, oh man, how am I going to get through 38 movies in the next 24 days? But regardless, number one most important is we're going to watch April Fool's Day.
We are.
Let me see if that's streaming anywhere in case anybody... Sometimes some of these movies are a little tough to find, but April Fool's Day...
IMDb doesn't look like it.
1986. It is playing for free on Hoopla, and you can rent it at all your normal rental places. But Hoopla has it for free.
Okay. I don't even think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, you need a subscription for it, but I'm not sure what it is either. But it says it's there.
All right.
Hoopla.
Hoopla.
All right. You got any parting words before we take off?
Nope. Looking forward to holiday horror next week.
Yeah, holiday horror with April Fool's Day. And thanks again for leaning into that as a theme.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you don't mind horror films. I'm much more horror-minded, and so I do appreciate a whole month. And these are good ones. The four we got are good ones. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be a fun month. So, all right. Well, we'll see you guys next week when we talk about April Fool's Day.